Okay, guys. Hi. So nice to see you.
Hi.
Hello.
Congratulations on Jiva. You all did an amazing job. Congrats, Noxolo. Congrats, Candice. I'm super proud of you. And honestly, I can't wait for the world to see the amazing things you did with Jiva.
I wake up every morning. It's the same thing all over again.
You're late again.
You know I'm taking care of my entire family.
It isn't.
You keep wondering when your day will come to be happy.
Welcome to the 5th annual Jive Auction Dance Competition.
For me, is freedom of expression. Dance is happiness and a great workout. But I think dance for me is just freedom, and just because that's how it makes me feel. It makes me feel free and happy, and just expressing myself without having to say anything or show you. It's what my body and my heart says. So that's really what dance is to me. It's my heart. It's really my heart.
I've always had a relationship with dance, though it wasn't one that I made a full priority, because I've always been in love with acting more. But it's always been a medium that's been part of my storytelling journey. So in actual fact, when I got my honors degree at the University of Witwatersrand here in Johannesburg, South Africa, my major was in movement and physical theater. Wow. So I'm not in any way unfamiliar with the dance medium and storytelling through dance. So that form of expression for me is something that's very innate, and it comes very naturally in my family as a whole. We're a family of dancers. So at this level, and with the level of excellence that was required of me, a very great deal of training was also required. But I was definitely up for the challenge, and finding the love, the joy, and also the sense of freedom and liberation, because I think you get that, and you see that in the movement, you see that in the scenes where there's a freedom that we show you, and that freedom is also an invitation to join us in the dance. So it's not always about how excellent or brilliant it is, but just about the expression and immersing yourself in the happiness and the euphoria that comes with dancing. So yeah, training was necessary. Getting my body fit and the stamina and the bandwidth for it was all very necessary. A lifestyle change was also necessary. A lot more better eating was required. But again, to whom much is expected, much is required.
Yeah.
I think the moment I got this role, especially in Ntombi, I had two things in mind. The first was the fact that I had to speak Zulu, because Ntombi is from Umlazi. I was like, I do not want Zulu speaking people to whack me over the head, because they're just like, I'm sorry, ma'am, what? So it was the Zulu, and it was definitely the dancing. I knew the amount of work that I was gonna have to put into it, and I was ready for the challenge. I was very nervous. I was extremely nervous, especially because of who our choreographers are and just how much they're known. You know, we had Tom London, we had Bontle Modiselle Moloi, and they are very well known in the dance scene in South Africa. In fact, they're one of the best choreographers in South Africa. So to have had them as choreographers made me really nervous, but also made me feel secure in that I was in good hands. And I knew that I wouldn't have gotten the role if I wasn't capable of pulling off the role of Ntombi. But I mean, the nerves didn't go away. But I guess it shows just how much I care about the story, and how much I want the story to be perceived well and to be received well too.
Her style is exceptional. Her hair is always laid to death. And in watching back, you know, obviously playing the character, you have a completely different relationship with playing it. And then you watch it back, and it's a different experience altogether. If there's two things that I really love about her, and I love her vulnerability. And her vulnerability shows itself in many ways, whether it be a relationship with Mr. Kumete, her relationship with Menzi, and her relationship with Ntombi. And even that moment of stepping in with the trolleys and showing up, that's making yourself extremely vulnerable to take your shoes off and say, I'm saving the day. So her vulnerability shows itself in many ways. And I love the softness that I chose for her, you know. I could have approached her in a very aggressive way, but even her assertion and her assertive nature is still rooted in a lot of softness. So I love that she exudes this beautiful femininity, but that is also very bold and present. But I also just love her colorful nature, that in me not also approaching her too seriously, that she wasn't someone that isn't completely unrelatable or unattainable. There are many people that can see, and I'm saying people in general, males, females, non-binaries, people from various walks of life, they can look at her and say, oh, I see myself in that. Men, women, people across the board can see the colorful nature that she represents in themselves, and also be able to laugh with her and cry with her and dance with her and reprimand Ntombi with her. All of those colors of who she is are shown, and I've taken everyone on the journey with her, and I'm so grateful that I'm able to do it on this platform, and that I've created this invitation for people to walk the Vuyiswa evolution and devolution as well.
Besides learning how to jive really well, it taught me sometimes to get out of my mind. You know, I'm always in my head and I'm always trying to perfect certain things. And it really taught me to sometimes let go, because you can't control everything. And I think that's it's a beautiful reminder I think I get in every project I find myself in, that you need to let go, because I'm always put in positions where I have no control over certain things, you know. But I also learned to be okay with shining, to be okay with shining, and to not feel like you shining is you dimming anyone else's light, and to take my moment when my moment is there, you know, and to not feel like I need to play small. Because I think as Nox, I tend to feel like I need to play small and I shouldn't shine as much as I'm destined to shine, you know. So yeah, I think that's definitely what I learned, and to really to be in a place, and when I'm in a place to take ownership of where I am, no matter how uncomfortable it may be, to really always believe that I deserve to be in a place.
So it's an African term for dancing. So in its literally the denotation is the actual definition of it is to dance. Dancing as an art form really is just expression. It is falling in love with how your body responds to how it feels in that moment. And sometimes not even to music. We dance as a response to an emotion. So when we're happy, Jive as South Africans. And I think as Africans, as people in general, I think just Blackness came with a natural ability to respond to dance, even if it's not the most rhythmically excellent or proficient or anything, but there's this thing that we do, no matter whether you're doing the shaku, whether you are doing the dagi, whether you're rejecting, whether you're crumping, whether you're twerking, we have this innate ability to just dance as a response. And it's just, I think it's a genetic way of just saying I'm present. And where words fail, dance prevails. So I'm just grateful that we get to do this in this art form. And that's why I'm like, Jive as a show and as a medium and really as a platform is, I would like to believe, a movement. We're starting a movement and an invitation to say, let's jive in, let's dance, let's jive. And what let's jive means, it's like, let's move. I'm not saying let's compete, because even if you look, and I just want to allude to a very important scene, the protest. As Ntombi is traveling in the taxi, there's a protest happening, and that is dance. That is it. There's a chant. There is, the war cries. There's those songs that go on in that moment. Even in church, there are hymns. When we're praying, we dance.
Yeah.
So just generally, dance exists in various ways, in various mediums, but it is also just a natural response to existence, and we need to invite ourselves to do that. No matter how excellent, how brilliant you are, how great the next person is, how great the person in the circle is, get inside there and jive out.
For rehearsal, we had to start and almost stop a bit. But when we started rehearsals, I think we rehearsed for about, honestly, 3 weeks. Candice, correct me if I'm wrong.
And we started in 2019.
We started
Wow.
2019.
Wow.
The end of 2019 in December.
Christmas. And then we came back in January.
Wow.
But then we had to then move to where we were shooting a few weeks after we started again, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. So all in all, I want to say we rehearsed for about a month before we started. And then in between filming, we'd always have just rehearsals to kind of refresh our memories before we had to actually shoot it. But yeah, I want to say, let's say roundly, it was 6 weeks of rehearsal that we had. And then we shot for, if we put it all together, about 2 months as well.
Wow.
But even while we were shooting, we were rehearsing.
Wow.
We were rehearsing. But yeah, this was just obviously to keep our bodies warm, keep our bodies fit, and also to keep the choreography fresh in our minds. I think it's the last scene where Ntombi actually gets on that bus to go to Johannesburg. And I think of how it was previously conceptualized, and how she's almost looking at herself in the window. She's looking at reflection, and she's almost saying to herself, we're gonna do this. We're actually doing this. Like, we have no idea what is in store for us, but we took the first step and we're actually going. And I think that's a scene that really makes my heart smile, because that's her first step to freedom. That's her first step to achieving her goals and fetching her life.